Good day to you peeps. Liesl here once more. Yeah, and this is take 2 video actually. If I seem a little bit exasperated, of the very latest on Gemma. Yeah, and the very latest is that she is in fact now in one piece, if not very cobbled together. I will run us through the entire rebuild on her, inspirations and everything that came from this community, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, straight in. As I think most of us know by now, originally Gemma had a completely different body. There were electrics, everything failed, the neck went kind of at a weird angle and all this sort of stuff after a certain amount of time. So I did decide to rebuild this one, and here is basically the result. Yeah, 1 or 2 features I did replace as best I could. Yeah, well, let me just run you through. So yeah, basically I did create something more of a wooden resonator on the front, and you can see just behind it is the hook where the spring is on the inside of the body. I think it does make quite a good sound actually. If you listen to the strings, you can hear the, well, what would be the top string is a bit dull. I think that's down to this very cobbled together bridge, to be honest. Yeah, and I do feel that because we do have this kind of fairly steep back angle, and you can see that it does make for lovely play here. I think so in any case. I think maybe the action would be better if I slightly raised that as well. So yeah, I might go back to do that as well. And then possibly we can get the final verdict, if I can put it that way, on the sound from Professor Liesl at the Sound Lab. But not until I've done all the adjustments, yeah. I think I need to hollow that bridge out and make it smaller, more like a violin bridge. You do get a better sound that way, I think, than when it's like this chunky piece of wood. And you can see there's a fret in there, but that's too thick. It's kind of impeding the strings slightly. So I will alter that. Yeah, I think the 12th, well, it's not the 12th really, is it? It's the 7th on here. Now that used to sound very off. I think it does sound a bit better. Yeah, it sounds more how I would like it to sound, I guess you could say. So I'm quite pleased that we did improve at least the fretting on this one. Once you get past that 7th, it starts to get very hard on the action, right? Yeah. So, but I've never really played past that 7th myself on this particular instrument anyway. No, because that's just me. And because the 12th, or well, the 7th was off, yeah, for such a long time, I think it has anyway improved the play of this one. Yeah, just I use paint to black out the inside, because you've got that nice look then behind the sound hole and the resonator. My father's cigar box that I forgot I'd had. One of those strange kitchen cupboard styly hinges. Yep, for the saddle. There you go, all glued together. And yeah, the Japanese art form where I still cannot pronounce the name of it, so I'm not even going to attempt to, but where, you know, the imperfections are filled with gold to make them part of the beauty of the item. I thought we'd definitely go with that on this one. I mean, the resonator is that in a way, because it's now attached to the body, it's not part of the neck. But I did get the wood glue, the man glitter, and some gold acrylic paint, just to kind of fake some gold. Hopefully you can see it in all the cracks and in, like, for want of a better word, imperfections. I think these things are perfect in their imperfection, to be honest. That's the whole idea of a cigar box guitar, I think. And I thought, yeah, that's a beautiful touch, and thanks to the person that put a little link to that for me in the comments. If I forget individual names at any time, do forgive me. More senior moments as the days advance, you know. And what with one thing and another, and just the basic million things you have to keep in your head these days, you know, in the modern world. So yeah, that all comes together. But I think, yeah, so maybe slightly raise the nut. You can see there's some nice, pretty looking, fairly classic anyway, machine heads with the detailing on there. I do like those. Cute set of ears. But yeah, mainly she is back in one piece and playing again anyway, at least some kind of tune, although I have got to mess around with the mechanics a little more. You can see the neck's at a slight angle. I like it like that because then the box rests on your leg more naturally. Yeah, so that is intentional. She still tilts ever so slightly that way, but I think that's good for when you're playing on the bottom string and then you're hitting the top one to drone it. I know that I have an unusual way of playing where I strike it with my index finger like this. I will tell you where that comes from, and it's from YouTube actually, but it's basically because before I ever really picked up a cigar box guitar to play, the one 3-string instrument that I had played, and I do have one, was a balalaika. And I watched this guy who did a series of videos on how to play it, and he said that's the correct way to strike the strings, is with your index finger and strike up and down. And so yeah, I know this one's like a double string or 2 strings on this instrument, but yeah, I play 3 strings like that, and I play everything like that. So there it is. Yeah, you know, I mean, I do try to use a pick sometimes and all this sort of thing. But yeah, enough waffle really, and I guess it's time to wrap this one up. So yeah, well, once I've got the bridge set, I'll make that look a lot prettier than it is now. Possibly raise the nut slightly. Probably on the back burner for a while, because next up we are going to do the neck on bassy bass. Now, I forgot to get the roof brackets to show you that are holding this neck in. Hence the second take on the video actually, because I went to pause it, but I shut it off by accident, and I thought, no, I'm not leaving it like that. We'll film again. So, yeah, the neck on this one is basically how I described my early necks, because this neck I built many years ago. I can barely remember doing it really. I totally overestimated. I mean, that's solid oak at the top, and it is one of those that looks more like a, you know, 1700s musket stock kaboom than it does a guitar neck, you know. Yeah, as I did mention earlier, so I thought I'd show you that. But we're going to shape that in. Yeah, I had quite a good practice because I did do some more subtle shaping to the back of the neck on Gemma. So one thing always leads to another with these, is what I say. And I think with that, I'll leave it there. So yeah, peeps, wherever you are, do stay safe. Whatever you're doing, do stay blessed. And you know, whatever life brings, keep building. Okay, till next time. Bye for now.